Look around you. Touch the table in front of you. Feel the air you breathe. It all feels real, right? But what if I told you that everything you perceive, your memories, your feelings, this very reality might be nothing more than an incredibly advanced computer simulation? Welcome, investigators, to the Bizarre Bureau, where today we're plugging into one of the most mind-bending ideas in modern science and philosophy, the simulation hypothesis. Are we living in a constructed reality? Let's find out. The idea that our reality is an illusion isn't new. Ancient philosophers like Plato, with his allegory of the cave, have questioned the nature of what we perceive. But in the 21st century, this ancient question got a high-tech upgrade. The modern simulation hypothesis was famously popularized by philosopher Nick Bostrom in 2003. His argument, known as the simulation argument, is so compelling it has physicists, tech moguls, and philosophers seriously debating its possibility. Bostrom's logic is a trilemma, meaning he proposes that one of three possibilities must be true. First, civilizations at our current stage of development are almost certain to go extinct before reaching the posthuman stage, a level of technological maturity where they could run ancestor simulations. Second, if they do reach that stage, they are extremely unlikely to be interested in running simulations of their evolutionary past. Or third, we are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. Let's break that down. The argument hinges on the assumption of technological progress. Look at how far our own computing power has come. In just a few decades, we've gone from simple games like Pong to creating vast, photorealistic open-world video games populated by millions of players and non-player characters, or NPCs. Each NPC has its own rudimentary form of consciousness, following scripts and reacting to the player's actions. Now, project that progress forward 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years. It's conceivable that a posthuman civilization would have computational power beyond our wildest dreams. Power so immense they could simulate an entire universe, complete with conscious beings like us. Why would they do this? Maybe for the same reasons we run simulations today, for scientific research, to study their history, for entertainment, or perhaps for reasons we can't even comprehend. If a civilization could run such simulations, they wouldn't just run one. They'd likely run thousands, or even billions of them. If that's the case, simple statistics suggest it's far more likely that we are one of the countless simulated consciousnesses, rather than one of the few base reality originals. The number of simulated realities would vastly outnumber the one and only original reality. So, statistically speaking, the odds are not in favor of us being in that base reality. Think about it this way. For every real world, there could be billions of simulated worlds. Which world are you more likely to be in? This is the core of Bostrom's argument. It doesn't prove we're in a simulation, but it makes a powerful statistical case for it. So, is there any actual evidence? Well, this is where things get really speculative and fascinating. Some physicists have proposed looking for glitches in the matrix. If our universe is a computer program, it might have limitations. For example, there's a theoretical limit to the energy a particle can have, known as the GZK limit. Some have suggested this could be a constraint imposed by the underlying processor of our simulated universe. It's like the edge of the map in a video game, a boundary set by the code. Another clue might lie in the very fabric of reality itself. Quantum mechanics, the branch of physics that deals with the very small, is famously weird. Particles seem to exist in a state of all possibilities until they are observed, at which point they choose a single state. This is known as the observer effect. Sound familiar? In video games, the world beyond your field of view often isn't fully rendered until you look at it. The game engine only calculates and displays what's necessary to save processing power. Could the quantum world be operating on a similar principle? Is reality only becoming real when a conscious observer, like us, is looking at it? Then there's the pixelated nature of reality. Physicists have discovered that space-time might not be smooth and continuous. At the smallest possible scale, the Planck length, space-time might be made of discrete, indivisible units, like pixels on a screen. If the universe is a simulation, it would have to be composed of some fundamental, finite building blocks, a minimum resolution. The discovery that our universe might have a refresh rate or a pixel size would be a huge piece of evidence in favor of the simulation hypothesis. However, let's bring ourselves back to Earth for a moment. The counter-arguments are just as compelling. First and foremost, there's no direct, verifiable evidence. All these ideas, the GZK limit, the observer effect, the pixelated spacetime, are interpretations. They can also be explained by other physical theories that don't require a simulated reality. The simplest explanation, Occam's razor, would suggest that reality is just reality. Furthermore, the simulation argument itself is built on a stack of assumptions. It assumes that consciousness can be simulated. We don't even fully understand what consciousness is, let alone how to replicate it in a computer. It assumes a post-human civilization would want to run ancestor simulations. Maybe they'd find it unethical. Maybe they'd have better things to do. And it assumes that such complex simulations are even possible without consuming an impossible amount of energy and resources. Creating a universe is a pretty big task, after all. Another big question is, if we are in a simulation, could we ever truly know? Any evidence we find could itself be part of the simulation, placed there by the simulators to mislead us or to test us. We are, by definition, inside the box. How can we ever hope to see what's outside of it? It's a philosophical maze. Any proof we discover could just be another line of code. But let's entertain the idea for a final moment. If we are living in a simulation, what does that mean for us? Does it mean our lives are meaningless? Not necessarily. The love you feel for your family, the joy of a beautiful sunset, the satisfaction of achieving a goal, those experiences are real to you. The simulation is your reality. Whether it's the base reality or not, doesn't change the authenticity of your subjective experience. Your choices, your struggles, and your triumphs are still yours. Perhaps the most important takeaway from the simulation hypothesis isn't whether it's true or false, but the questions it forces us to ask. It challenges our most fundamental assumptions about existence. It encourages us to be curious, to question everything, and to appreciate the profound mystery of the cosmos and our place within it. It's a testament to the incredible power of the human mind that we can even conceive of such a radical idea. So, what do you think? Are we living in a sophisticated computer program, or is reality exactly what it seems? Is the universe a grand cosmic computer, or are we just stardust and happen to become self-aware? The truth might be stranger than any fiction we can imagine. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the nature of reality here at the Bizarre Bureau. If you enjoyed this investigation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the unknown. Until next time, stay curious.